saw last night in Atlanta. What did it take to get this one?
Grit. I mean, that's it. It wasn't easy. I think both teams were coming in a little fatigued. The style that they play is rough, rugged, physical, a lot of hands, a lot of grabbing, holding. So it wasn't going to come easy for us tonight. But I couldn't be more proud of these guys to show that resiliency, show that mental toughness, because we had some tired guys out there. But they figured out a way, to manipulate the game so that we could play it at our speed and play it into our favor to win the game. So I couldn't be more proud of them for the way they showed up tonight on a tough back-to-back. A ton of minutes, the travel, what time you get in, so give our guys a ton of cred for what they were able to do tonight, because this was not easy. Again, we were, we were in a desperate mode without a panic. And, you talk about leadership, you talk about understanding the moment and what that was going to push the rest of the group to do. When a guy like 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗢𝗪, your leader, goes and is willing to dive on the floor, nobody else, can see a loose ball on the floor or an effort play that needs to be made and not go out and make it. I just, again, I've been amazed by his understanding and his recognition of the moment and his impact on each and every moment. And again, I'll say it and say it and say it, but we could not be more fortunate than have a guy like him here leading this show.
Coach, it's been a couple of weeks since you guys have played here, since before the All-Star break. Seems like every time 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗓 took the floor, the crowd got behind that. Just your sense of the aura of what you guys are building and then the reception that you guys get.
Yeah, that's ultimately, what we're trying to get to is that connection with our fan base. I genuinely believe that, through professional sports teams, college teams, whoever it may be, when you can find that bond between the team and the fan base, it can become unique and become special. I know for a fact, after having, played against these teams, just growing up in this league, I know, how proud of the team these fans can be and how they get behind their teams. I've seen it obviously lately with the Lions, but going back to the Bad Boys, era, and then obviously following that with, Tayshaun and Chauncey and Rasheed and those guys. I know how much this team means to this city. And, when our guys are playing at the level that they're playing at, they're not doing it for themselves, and they understand that. So, we need our fans, and we love it when they're in the building. They've got our back, and it just brings a different vibe to the group because we want to make them proud.
Coach, you mentioned fatigue and you mentioned leadership. Most of the first half, what did 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗓𝗪 bring to this team? Because it seemed like he's the one that kind of kept them afloat.
He just does that, and I don't think, people are as aware of it or highlight it as much, but he does. He just steadies everyone. When he's on the floor, I've told you guys before, he's my security blanket, and I think, the guys around him feel the same way. He's never too high, he's never too low. He just understands the play in the moment that he needs to make, whether it's a shot, whether it's a drive, whether it's a rotation, whatever it may be. Everybody just feels more comfortable when he's on the floor.
He had a moment in the third. He caught the ball in the corner, thought for a minute. I think he kind of glided past Harden and finished the reverse layup. He had taken a 3 in 12 games, but he's found so many ways to be impactful, whether just getting downhill, lob threat, whatever it may be. Just in today's league, to have a guy that's been able to do that. What do you see from a confidence standpoint? He's kind of found that part of the game.
Yeah, it's again, he has a great feel for the game. And, he knows how to make and read plays 2 steps ahead. You don't make those plays, cutting, those types of slashing plays without recognizing where the defense is, where they're getting ready to shift, where the ball needs to go, and then how do you find your space. So I think he does a great job of just reading the game and figuring out what's in front of him. But, again, when you play that way, and if people don't want to guard you behind the three-point line, you got to be able to make them keep their eyes on you. And with him cutting and putting threat on the rim, guys have to watch him, and that opens it up for everybody else also.
Coach, with the star defense
Yeah, I mean, the athleticism, it's off the charts. I cannot tell you, a guy that I've been around that has the size, the speed, the explosiveness that he has. But you mix that with his intelligence and his instincts, and that's why he's able to do the things that you see him do, right? Like, if you're always reacting, you don't get deflections or steals or getting passing lanes. You have to be able to anticipate. So you mix that anticipation with, that athleticism, and, he's a monster on the defensive end of the floor that just creates havoc. Appreciate you.